neo-evolutionism and our thoughts on it. Um, from what I understand, neo-evolution um, is the study of parallel regions and what type of culture and advances within their society they have based on developing similar technologies. So, according to Leslie White, and this was gleaned off of faculty.cascadia.edu, an anthropology post from a faculty member there. Technology um, is used to solve problems of survival. So, given that, I'll use the example of a home for neo-evolutionism. Initially, caves, dwellings in which you could be surrounded mostly to keep one eye on the door so if predators come, you have a better chance of surviving. That eventually led to being able to build four walls and a roof. They were pretty standard, large families lived in the same spot, slept in the same room, ate in the same room. As time goes by, as people acquire more wealth, they can have a bigger house with separate bedrooms, etc., etc. I think having the technology and capability to build your housing is definitely something that people need to have: protection from the elements, protection from predators, all that. But I don't think it needs to be done into excess. Nowadays you can look, well, you watch the celebrity house shows, or you look in real estate guides, and there are vast, huge buildings, and you hear it all the time, like, oh, these very wealthy people, and kudos for making that wealth. It's just a husband and wife, and they have a 13 bedroom, 17 bathroom, with a media room and all sorts of stuff. And why? You're infringing and encroaching on natural land. You're destroying many other homes that may not be for human use, but they certainly are for the animal population. And you are destroying the home that we all share, the earth. So I think, in the sense of having a technology to help you with your survival and maintain some comfortable life, doesn't need to be big and bold. It doesn't need to make a huge statement, because you're really going to eventually deteriorate the quality of life that humans globally have, with pollution and whatnot. I think that, yes, societies that can harness energy have an advantage. You look at like the Gulf War and stuff. There, the Middle East are sitting on oil everywhere, and this is where the wars really they stem from, and that is very sad. If we look now towards solar energy, people are starting to push that, and I see it popping up on a regular everyday folks' house. They're saving their money and they're putting in 2 or 3 panels that cost like $4,000 or $6,000 for just 3 panels. And I've watched some of my neighbors in New Hampshire gradually add as the years go by. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think there should be more programs out there geared to use things like solar power or wind power, and offer better discounts, so average Joe, everyday worker can afford to do that, because the oil is outlandishly expensive and our hands are tied and nobody helps. So the oil rich and get rich, and the rest of the people who are struggling to pay get poor. Um, I think that um, we should continue. We should continue in the direction of sustainable living dwellings. We should not continue with outlandish, huge monstrosities that will level a small portion of force. We should not continue um, burning the oils. I mean, they're depleting, and the costs aren't going down; they're going up. I think we should do this simply because the elements are there. You know, we lost all our hair, if you believe we stemmed from monkeys, and and it gets cold up here in the Northeast. So I'd like to have four walls, and a roof around me. Um, I'm infatuated with the tiny house movement. I think it's picking up steam, and it's a wonderful thing. It's a great concept for when my mister and I get to retirement age and our children are grown, because we have five of them, so tiny house doesn't work so much. But we are modest livers. We just want enough for our family to live comfortably. We don't want enough plus 10 extra rooms. Um, so I think going forward with a strong sense of the type of imprint we're leaving, um, and adjusting our lifestyles accordingly. I mean, every day more people are being born. Yes, every day people are dying, but more are being born than are dying due to medical advancements being able to prolong life and cure illnesses that 20, 30 years ago had no cure, or 50 years ago, whatever it may be. Um, so I think we need to really take stock of where the human population is going, and possibly start um, enhancing the knowledge of sustainable living in our children. You know, sometimes you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but we have generations of youth coming up, and if they have a strong sense of not taking up too much space, maybe we won't overpopulate and overpollute the earth so it dies. All right, thank you.